He's Josh Duhamel back on the program. Got a new movie. It's called Buddy Games. And it's after a falling out, 6 lifelong friends reunite to play the Buddy Games, an insane competition filled with the absurd physical and mental challenges. Now all bets are off as the determined pals fight, claw, and party for the chance to win $150,000. How did I do with that voiceover there, Josh?
That was beautiful. I almost wish I'd have made a different creative decision there, Dan.
And had me voice it over?
Exactly.
I could do it. I always wanted to do, you know what, DVD commentary, but I always wanted to do that in a world. And then that's how all these movie trailers start, in a world.
Yeah. Those guys who do those make a lot of money. Yeah. That would be a good side hustle for you.
Yeah.
And you could do it.
I'd like that. We spent the last 4 minutes prior to you coming on Googling who you're dating. McLovin, who is Josh dating right now?
Well, I have it's hard to keep track of this, but Audra Molly? I may say
Mari, yeah.
Is she from North Dakota?
She is from North Dakota.
Is she there?
She's there now, yes. I was just there 2 days ago.
Oh, but she's not there at your place.
No, she's not. She's actually in Fargo.
Okay, but you couldn't date somebody from South Dakota, could you?
Well, I could date somebody from anywhere, but I choose to date her.
Well, I know, but you're from North Dakota. Would you date somebody from South Dakota?
That would be weird, no?
No, it wouldn't. I don't know. Do you have something against South Dakota?
I have nothing against South Dakota. She's actually got a place. Her family has a lake cabin like less than an hour from mine out there, and I didn't know that when I first met her. It was sort of a chance. One of those lucky little circumstances.
But not wedding bells. We're dating.
Dan, really?
What? I'm going to plug the movie, but I got to get a little gossip in here. I got to make Entertainment Tonight. Come on.
She is a keeper. I'll put it that way. She's definitely a keeper.
How's Axel doing?
He's doing great. He's still asleep. We went to bed a little late last night. I was gone all day yesterday doing press for this movie, and he wanted some daddy time. So we spent we watched the Hotel for Dogs last night.
Ooh.
And we stayed up a little past his bedtime, so he's still sleeping. No school this week.
Does he know what you do for a living?
Sure. He hasn't seen this movie though, and he probably won't for another 10 years.
All right, you got some big stars in here. You got Olivia Munn, you got Kevin Dillon, Nick Swardson, Dax Shepard. Pretty good list there. Now, do you have to go recruit him?
Oh yeah. That was a whole horse trade right there. I had to get, because as you have to get certain people with a certain what they call Q number, which means they have a certain international value. And Dax and Olivia had enough to sort of get me greenlit for this movie. So I went to Olivia and I said, "Hey, Olivia, Dax is in. If you want to join." And then I went to Dax and said, "Hey, Dax, Olivia's in. Either one of them." So I had to pull every trick in the book to get this thing made.
But the Q rating, explain that though. Is that how movies are made, or some movies that may not get made, they get made because of somebody's Q rating who comes in?
Yes, I mean they base, and I really don't agree with this whole formula that they go by, because I don't think what somebody's Q rating in Germany and somebody's Q rating in Korea, how that helps make a better movie. I'd rather get the right 2 people for the movie than depend on something foreign. But what they do is they can then pre-sell all the money. It's sort of like hedging their bet before they even finance the movie.
We're talking to Josh Duhamel. The movie is called Buddy Games. When's it? Is it released the Thanksgiving weekend?
Today.
Oh,
today. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So we got a great release. We're on. This is the best weekend we could have asked for, honestly.
Yeah.
400 screens right now, which is good considering what we're in the middle of. So yeah, it's as this has been a long time coming. This has been something I've had to push and pull and drag and kick for years to get it done, and I just can't wait for people to see it now.
Is there a love scene with you?
Yes, there is a love scene. It's really romantic. You should check it out.
Well, give me a little bit more than that. Is there a woman involved?
All right. So it's me and Olivia, and we're at my parents' place on a Sunday morning for brunch, and she decides to spice things up a little bit. So she sort of stops me in the bathroom as I'm washing my hands, and it sort of happens right there. So yeah, it's not the most romantic love scene you've ever seen. And the scene itself, I'm sort of looking at myself. There's a picture of myself as a child as I'm doing it. And I have to stop because it's too uncomfortable. I feel like I'm staring. My childhood self is staring at me.
But how? But are they always awkward when you do love scenes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not nearly as fun as they might look on screen because you've got a bunch of hairy camera dudes around, and your sound guys, and there's grips and gaffers all around. So it's never as sort of sensual as it might appear on screen. It's pretty uncomfortable, actually.
Well, I was in a Sandler movie, Blended, and I had to kiss a woman, and I just met her, Wendy Covey McClendon, I think, from the Goldbergs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Sandler says, "It's not in the script," and then Sandler goes, "Danny, I think you need to kiss Wendy." And I mean, I didn't know her, and next thing I know, Sandler goes, "Okay, action," and then I'm kissing Wendy Covey McClendon. And I go, how awkward is this? But it's not like that with you guys. Like, Olivia Munn, don't you?
Well, yes, I do know Olivia, but sometimes that's the way it is, that awkward, because I've done things where, as they shoot these things out of order, and I've had scenes where I just met the girl 5 minutes earlier, and we have to do like the love scene first day of the first of shooting. So it's not the worst, but it's just truly part of the job.
Wendy McClendon Covey, Fritzy is telling me. I had it in reverse order. So Wendy McClendon Covey, very talented woman from the Goldbergs. How would you assess your Vikings?
Well, we are, I just feel like the Vikes this year, for whatever reason, we got off to a really slow start. Won, 2 games in a row, almost 3 games in a row. And then lose to the Cowboys last week. So I don't feel like this is probably our year. I never count them out, but I don't know, until we get that quarterback that I feel like can put us over the top. I don't think it's going to be any different than any years past.
Oh, so you're off the Kirk Cousins bandwagon.
I have been for a couple of years now.
You have. I remember talking to Josh when he left the stadium after that was a playoff game, right? A couple of years ago.
That was in Minnesota after Walsh missed that 24-yard field goal.
The Seattle game.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh God. It's like there's a new way. They find a new way to break your heart every year.
And then he calls, and then I know that he just lost in dramatic fashion. And just like I miss that hurt as a fan. I don't have that because I don't root for anybody. I root for a storyline. But to have the high when it's really high. Yeah. But also that pain, the reason why it hurts so much is you care so much.
Yeah. And, Russell Wilson just has our number. He's been doing this now for a few years. He did it again this year. I don't know if you remember the game. It was a game like 3 or game 4. Dude just has the ability to take a team back. And that to me is what the Vikings are missing, is that quarterback who can, that if there's 2 minutes left, your team still has a shot. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers or, Brady, although he didn't play great last night, guys like Russell Wilson, you just know that those guys are going to give you a shot.
But does it hurt knowing that Green Bay still has Aaron Rodgers?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, they've had a top quarterback now for 20 some years, haven't they?
Now, you didn't bring up Rodgers to Olivia Munn, did you?
No, why would I?
Wait, didn't she date? She dated Aaron Rodgers.
Are you asking me if I whispered that in her ear while we were
No, I was just curious if it came, because you're a Viking fan. She dated Aaron Rodgers. I didn't know if that would come up in conversation, break the ice a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it. I mean, I love Aaron. I think that he's truly one of the greatest arm talents I've ever seen. So as a football fan, I wanted to pick her brain about him. So, what was he like? What does he look like? I didn't ask her that.
I didn't think so. The movie with, you got Kevin Dillon in here too, from Entourage, Dax Shepard, Olivia Munn, and Nick Schwartz. And Schwarty's great. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy, all right. But he's fantastic in this movie. He was he was the first guy on board when we first wrote it, and I'm truly excited for people to see it because we've shown it now in a few theaters, and it absolutely kills. It's extreme though, Dan. I'm going to warn you. We push the envelope. My favorite movies are movies like The Hangover and Old School and Dumb and Dumber. So I wanted to do something that sort of pushes the envelope, like Phillips and Farrelly Brothers, those directors do, and it works. And I'm excited for people to see this thing after all these years.
Yeah, it's been a while. You've been talking about this for 5 years.
Yeah, so that's because of there's a few reasons for that. It was we ended up well, I won't get into the legal stuff, but we control the movie now, and with COVID and everything else, we had to push it back to now. But ultimately, we couldn't have asked for a better date. I mean, I'm really excited about this weekend, and it's the perfect Thanksgiving movie.
It sounds like it. Yeah. Fun for the entire family. Happy Thanksgiving. And I think either you're ready to blow a kiss to me or your screen just froze up. But say hello to Axel, and thank you, Josh. That's
Are you there? There you are.
Yeah. You froze on me.
All right, man.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You going to be at the AT&T this year?
I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. I don't know if I'm ready to travel with the entire group here.
Well, I'd sure love to see you there, man.
Well, it would be great, and we would love to go, but I'm not quite sure. But have a great Thanksgiving. Right. Great to talk to you. Good luck with the movie.
All right, brother. Thanks for having me.
That's Josh Duhamel. He's actor, writer, producer, director, and the movie is Buddy Games.